evening, everybody. It's John with ACTION-FLIX.com coming at you with a live edition of Trailer Tactical. That's right, we are going tactical tonight. I was thinking of what could I do for Trailer Tactical this week, and then today it answered it for me. Your prayers have been answered, John. First of all, we had one trailer, then we had a number two. I wasn't even expecting a second one. I was going to do a Trailer Tactical for you all just for the first trailer that came out today, and then all of a sudden, like by some miracle or grace of God, we had another trailer come out. So I have not one, but two trailers to go over. And look, they're looking like some pretty good ones. So if you're hanging out with me and you want to drop me a line, go right ahead. We're live. We're on Facebook and YouTube on my YouTube channel. So here's the thing. The first movie, we all know, again, we've all been like... Oh, first, hang on. I apologize again. I always get ahead of myself. We have to properly start the episode. This is my bad. Okay, so first of all, we're tacking up. We're going to greet each other. And then we're going to get down to business. Yep. Oh, yep. There's one guy that's involved in Trailer Tactical tonight. There he is again. And of course, he's not involved, but... we're still excited that he's coming back on March 4th. All right, so there we go. So we're properly introduced to Trailer Tactical for it is Wednesday, February 26th. It's actually Mark Dacascos' birthday. I have not been able to wish him a happy birthday on social media. So happy birthday, Mark. And I also, on a somber note, I just found out that Michelle Trachtenberg, who was on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, she was the Ice Princess, Harriet the Spy, so many things, sadly passed away at the age of 39. Holy cow, that was unexpected. Yeah, so wasn't expecting that one, so our hearts go out to her family and friends. Wasn't really expecting to turn on social media when I got home from work and see that. But unfortunately, that's what life does sometimes, you know. And it's like when you're that young, like she was 39, you know, again, like when some of these celebrities and some people didn't, they're like 89 or 9. It's like, yeah, you had a good life, but like 39, holy cow. It really makes you feel mortal. So I just wanted to get that out of the way before we had some fun tonight. And again, my condolences. Like I watched her for many, many years. And of course, Eurotrip, I fell in love with her in Eurotrip. Holy cow. Such a great actress. She seemed like fun, you know, energetic, you know. Unfortunately, life deals us blows. And unfortunately, that's what happened today. All right, so on that note, let's get going with Trailer Tactical. Yes. All right, so this movie, holy cow. There's the artwork for it. There he is, Tom Hardy in all his glory. No law, only disorder. You got it. Havoc finally released not only its trailer and key art, but it also established that we're actually going to see it on April 25th. May the gods of action speak with thunderous applause because holy cow, this movie was announced 5 years ago. It's like, what do you, geez, it's like, what are you going to do? I'm like, holy cow. It's like, it was one of those movies that you didn't think was actually going to come out. Ever. Like, you know, it was announced. They even filmed it, but then Gareth Evans, we all know director Gareth Evans, has done the Raid films, the Raid and the Raid 2 with Eco US, has done a sensational job in the action genre. So, yeah, so super excited for this one. And before we get started, I have my man Severio chiming in. He says, I'm with you tonight while I'm working out in the basement, John. Havoc and Counting Part 2 on the same day, a few days after my birthday. Happy birthday. There you go. There's your birthday present, my friend. Holy cow. What a double feature that's going to be. You know, well, one, you get to watch in the comfort of your own home, and then you go and the theater experience. So, Severa, that's awesome. Thank you for hanging out with me. I know normally this is Wednesday. This would be a night where we do the Action Elite Live, but of course my man Owen is on vacation over in Scotland across the seas. He's visiting his family, and it was his birthday a couple days ago, so happy birthday, Mr. Friel. Yes, Owen. But I'm thinking we're going to be back next week. I think Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what they said. So yeah. So normally this would be a night for the Action Elite Live, but since we're on hiatus, I was like, why not do a trailer tactical for these trailers that we're gonna check out? Oh, and we got Real Popcorn Geek. Finally, I was starting to think that Havoc was that. Yeah, you and all of us, but it's like, yeah. Then he started to do like reshoots, and it was like, and after a while, you're just like, you forgot about it. And then they released some images of Tom Hardy behind the scenes. And I remember when I did, like, they came out with these behind the scenes images of Tom Hardy, in character for Havoc. And I shared them on my on my site. And I got a cease and desist order in the email. They're like, you can't show them. I'm like, they're on the internet. But so it's like that's my one anecdote about all of that. So it's like, okay, whatever. So I took them down. I took the whole article down. But here we are. So to this day, it's like April 25th. Hiya. It's like we can't get excited enough. But then the action gods graced us again. And they were like, you know what? Havoc would have been enough. Just watching it, and it's a fast trailer. Unfortunately, it's not like a lengthy one, but we don't need a lengthy one. We already know that we're gonna love this movie. I'm sure there's gonna be some naysayers out there that are gonna nitpick it. It's like, it's like, what do you guys want? But from what they showed in this teaser trailer, holy cow, does it look sensational? But then they were just like, you know what? Hey, let's do a little Scott Adkins for you, and not only Scott Adkins. Day of Reckoning, the trailer and artwork came out today. And it's not to be confused with Universal Soldier Day of Reckoning. That's the one that Scott did with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren. This is just called Day of Reckoning. So already I'm getting people saying, oh, it's also called... Yeah, it's not his say. He's not the one that titles these movies. He just stars in them. It's like they got to come up with the names on their own. But we got Billy Zane in it, and Scott plays a bad guy. That's right. He shared this photo of himself. He's a motorcycle riding villain in this one who's hot after his wife, who has been apprehended by law enforcement, and he is out to get her back by any means necessary. And I got a couple opinions on it after we watched the trailer that I noticed while watching the trailer, which is kind of cool because it's kind of like a reverse juxtapose type of thing going on with this one. So yeah, we got some more. Comments here real quick. Real Pop Great Recipes. Screenwriter Roberto Orci. Yes, he was responsible for Transformers and a bunch of other things. He was a screenwriter. He sadly passed away. I believe it was yesterday or the day before. Yeah, way too young. Absolutely. It's like, holy cow. It's like, it makes you feel mortal when that happens. And Severa says, I will be watching this trailer for the first time with you. It's my most anticipated actioner so far. Are you ready? It's like, should I make her wait? I don't know. So here's the thing. I'm so excited for Havoc because not just because Gareth Evans directed it. And again, it's going to have that raid flair to it. It's going to. Is it going to reach the heights of that movie? Probably not. I mean, what can? Who knows? But, we had these behind the scenes images, or not behind the scenes, but these images from the movie itself, that Tom Hardy's all business, that I'm sharing with you. Unfortunately, there's no real images from Day of Reckoning except for the key art. So basically, we have the poster, and we got Scott on a bike. That's pretty much all we have for that one right now. But it's coming exclusive to theaters on March 28th. That's kind of weird. So I'm kind of leery because it's like, if it's exclusive to theaters, like how big of a release is it going to get? Because I'm pretty sure it's probably not going to play anywhere near I am. So unless I get a PR firm, that, calls out to me, with the screener, I think I'm going to have to wait as well. It will a lot of people. But you never know. I mean, I had some movies come out near me. I had Valiant 1 come out near me that I wanted to see. It's a military movie, but of course I didn't get a chance to see it. But that had a limited theatrical release, and that played in Panama City Beach. So who knows? All right, so here's what we're going to do. I am going to bring up my website because, of course, this is a commercial for my website. Didn't you know? So, it's ACTION-FLIX.com, everybody. It's like we're your ultimate destination for everything action. All right, so there it is. There's my front page. So, again, of course, funny story. I just got to tell you guys real quick about doing the Havoc trailer post. Now, if you notice, if you read it, It's a real fast one. I was at work. Now, when I'm at work, it's not really conducive to be on your phone or to be doing stuff where you're, typing or texting or anything like that. The only time I look up my phone is if it goes off, I make sure it's not my boss or it's not Bailey who needs me or anything like that. So I shh, don't tell nobody. I went into the maintenance closet because I had to do something for work. But I was like, since I was in there, I was like, you know what? It's like, let me do this real quick. I'm going to share it real quick. And sure enough, I got it out. It was a fast one. Because normally, I like to give my opinions on the trailers in my posts. I like to give you that little something, a little extra. Some people just say, hey, here's the trailer. Boom. I like to say, okay, yeah, here's the trailer, who directed it, who started it, who wrote it, But I also like to say, okay, here's my thoughts on it because, that's why I do this. So, and if you guys follow me, then I would assume that you want to hear my thoughts on it. So there you go. Anyway, all right, we got a couple you guys are getting me with some comments here. This is great. Thank you guys for showing up tonight. Hang on a second. Let me see. Here we go. Real Popcorn Cake says there's bound to be a Loner Havoc trailer come mid to late March, maybe even early. Yeah, we'll probably get a longer one. But do we need a longer one? No. And he says longer. Yes, he fixed it. It's okay. We understand. We knew what you meant. And it's Real Popcorn Cake says Netflix typically does teaser trailers right, short and sweet, and not 3 minutes long. Yeah, they don't show you the entire movie. It's like here's 3 minutes long, and it's like, okay, I know how it ends, I know what happens, and all that good stuff. All right, so I'm going to queue up Havoc first, and I'm going to make it as tiny as possible so YouTube does not hit me with copyright. So I'm, it seems to be working. It seems to be working, that I do this. So when I do it like this, I do it with the small screen, and then I do the trailer over here, and it's like this big, and you can see it enough, especially if you're watching it on a big screen TV, but that's how big it's going to be. So it's like, you can watch it big later, but this seems to be working where I don't get tagged, for copyright. And again, I'm talking over it, I'm critiquing it, and again, I've been flagged before, and I've fought it in the past and have won and said, hey, this is just, for commentary purposes. It's not like I'm gaining any money off of this. I'm promoting it, and I'm talking about it. And then they're like, okay, and then, they let me have it. But since I've been doing it this way, hopefully it keeps on working. And again, I must say that if it doesn't, I will edit out the parts where the trailer is shown, and it'll just be me talking, because I did the Tony Jaa one, Striking Rescue. You guys remember that one? I got 40,000 some hits on that one. I don't understand how that happened. I mean, it's not like Tony Jaa himself shared it, because I checked. I was looking. I was like, did Tony share this? I'm like, nope, didn't share it at all. But for some reason, I got like 40,000 hits on it, and my numbers grew. And I think that's how I got over 1,000 subscribers. By the way, thank you for that on YouTube. And I wasn't even doing anything. Over the holidays in December, January, I didn't do anything. Just because I was busy. I mean, I was busy with the holidays. I was busy with work. I was busy with my daughters, and I see my count slowly rising. And I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Now, just hopefully, if I'm actually now doing something, that it's gonna happen. It's like, but it's kind of got stagnant now. It's like I'm sensing a pattern here. It's like if I don't show up, you guys will like me, and if I do show up, you won't like me. I don't know. Whatever. Well, I'm going to show up anyways. Okay, so let's get this first one cranked up for you guys here. We're going to watch it together. We're going to get excited because Tom Hardy is going to kick some ass, as we see from this image right here, where this unfortunate gentleman is on the receiving end of a very bad day from Mr. Hardy. So here it is, the official teaser trailer to Gareth Evans' Havoc, starring Tom Hardy and a collective band of supporting cast that is Timothy Olyphant. Oh, my God. He looks sensational in it, so let's watch.
I just came from a crime scene. 9 bodies.
I make one phone call. You and your friends go down.
Oh, and Forrest Whitaker. Yeah, Forrest Whitaker.
Oh. What brings you boys here? We didn't want to miss out on all the fun.
Oh.
This is my town.
All right, I'm dead. Oh yeah.
forget, I know what you did.
You have no idea what I did.
Well, there you go, everybody. Wasn't that exciting? Holy cow. It was like a minute something. That's perfect. Short and sweet. Like Real Popcorn Geek said, it's like you don't have to, give us 4 minutes of the movie. It's like just show us what we want to see. You get to see a little bit of Tom Hardy. You get to see a little bit of Forrest Whitaker. Get to see a little bit of Timothy Olyphant. And then it's just Tom Hardy busting heads for like 30 seconds. It's like, yeah. And it has the right to be one of the most anticipated action films of the year because, boy, did that look phenomenal. That looked super, super, super tight. And Severio commented, he says, yep, gonna be badass. I agree. I don't need to see another trailer. I want to be surprised. That's right. We're sold. It's like, but I am going to go back and kind of go over a little bit of the trailer here with you guys. So let's just go over a little bit of the ending here.
You have no idea what I did.
So,
This is my
I'm
time.
digging the music. We got the ultra violence happening here. We got Tom Hardy busting heads, machine guns, shotguns, stomping people's faces in with his
I know
boot.
what you did.
You have no idea what I did.
So, booyah. So let's go over a little bit of this, shall we? Hang on. Real Popcorn Wicker sounds like he's doing his Rogue One's character voice. Actually, when I was listening to him, he was kind of sounding like somebody. He was kind of sounding like Marlon Brando from The Godfather. He's like, "Hey, I was like, are we channeling some of that?" Love the back crowbar beatdown. Yep, you gotta love when they use like regular everyday items, to crack people's skulls in. All right, so let's go over a little bit of this one. So, Havoc, as we all know, like I said, was announced like 5 years ago. Holy cow, it's been 5 years. And then, of course, they were filming it. And then, of course, it was in post-production for what seemed like 8,000 years. Now, of course, it wasn't 8,000 years. But it seemed like, holy cow, is this movie ever going to come out? And then it was like Gareth Evans kept giving us like little teases, like little updates. He's like, hey, here's what's happening, everybody. I'm making sure that this is going to be the best movie that I could put out for you guys. And here's the thing. I think Netflix is kind of like, you know what? They have Extraction, the Extraction. And, of course, now we know the Extraction universe is getting bigger with Omar Sy getting his TV show that I announced on the Weekly Intel yesterday. So check that one out. I got a new Weekly Intel up where I went over some of the news that I've missed when I was on hiatus. So besides Extraction, it's like they haven't really had that action hit. So I think they're like, you know what, Gareth? You take as long as you need to make this movie and to do it and put your stamp of approval on it, and we will wait patiently. And then probably when he turned in what he had, they were like, it's like a fine wine. it's like simmering. It's like, okay, we're ready. All right, so let's go over this a little bit. So they also did an official synopsis. So we got Walker Tom Hardy as a bruised detective fighting his way through the criminal underworld, threatening to engulf his entire city. In the aftermath of a drug deal gone wrong, when do drug deals go right? Walker finds himself with a number of factions on his cell, a vengeful crime syndicate, a crooked politician, as well as his fellow cops. When attempting to rescue the politician's estranged son, whose involvement in the drug deal starts to unravel a deep web of corruption and conspiracy, he is forced to confront the demons of his past. And we all know what that means. Many bullets will be spent. Many guns will be fired. Many bullet holes will be made. And many people will hit the ground. Let the bodies hit the floor. That's right. Oh, boy, was that exciting. So here's the cast. So we got Jesse May Lee, Justin Cornwell, Quinlan Sepulveda, Louis Guzman, who I love Louis Guzman. He's a great character actor. Michelle Watterson, Sonny Pang, the great Sonny Pang. Yes, he's been in a lot of Eco US's movies. Jim Caesar, Zelia Mendez-Jones with Yu Yan Yan. Timothy Olyphant again. I love Timothy Olyphant. I can never get enough Timothy Olyphant. And Forrest Whitaker. That's right. So, again, let's just go over some, so it's just a little, let's go, might as well watch it again, right? It's a fast one. So let's have some fun. I like him tacking up
I
here.
just came from a crime scene.
Tom Hardy is one of those enigmas in Hollywood. Like, he does things his own way. He does movies his own way. You know, he's not one of those that conform. You know, he kind of does what he wants. And we're all good for it.
What brings you boys here? We didn't want to miss out on all the fun.
There's Timothy. Love him. Looks like he's got a great character going on.
This is my town.
The hyper-real, hyper-visceral, hyper-kinetic, hyper-violence.
I know what you did.
You have no idea what I did.
Oh, we all know what you did. You kicked some ass, Tom. That's right, baby. All right, so, can't get enough of that one. Holy cow, super excited. Like I said, I think Netflix is finally excited. They're like, you know what? After a bunch of failed misses, remember Trigger Warning with Jessica Alba? She was okay in it, but holy cow, was that movie left a lot to be desired. Holy cow. Ugh. Anyways, okay, so I think Netflix finally has another action hit on their hands that isn't called Extraction. So, you know, I'm sure they're excited for that. And I mean, they've also had, like, again, The Night Comes for Us, you know, that was, you know, Eco US and Joe Taslim, you know, they've had some foreign hits and stuff like that, but I think they want a substantial domestic action film. And who knows what happens in this movie. If Hardy survives, they might like want to make a franchise out of this, you know, so we'll just have to see it and wait what happens. Okay, we got more comments coming. Thank you, Severio and Real Popcorn Geek, for chiming in with me today, so I'm not talking to myself. Real Popcorn Geek says, I'd love to see Gareth Evans work on some of the various Wick Universe spin-offs. I think he'd be right in with the 8711 family. Yeah. I mean, you know, you never know. He might want to do his own thing. He might not want to hook up and, like, do it with anybody else. He might want to be like, okay, I got my own thing going on here. Do you guys remember when Gareth Evans was attached to the Deathstroke movie for DC? Was that a missed opportunity? Yeah, I'm still not over that one. Holy cow. Batman was supposed, you know, Ben Affleck was supposed to make a solo Batman movie. He was supposed to take on Deathstroke, and then they were going to make a Deathstroke movie directed by Gareth Evans. And how sensational that would have been. Joe Manganiello was going to reprise his role, of course. You know, that he only played the character for like 2 seconds in the DCEU. And then he was going to be in the Batman solo movie with Ben Affleck. He was going to be the main, you know, villain that Batman takes on, Arkham Asylum. That all figured into it. And then, of course, he was going to have his own movie. And Gareth Evans, I remember writing the article. That's why I did it for ActionFlix.com. I could probably, you know, look it up if, you know, and show it to you guys. But I'd probably start crying. Who knows? So, because, what could have been? The road not traveled. Okay, let's move on. All right, so here we go. Now we got Day of Reckoning. That's right. We got Billy Zane and Scott Adkins and some guy that I think was in the Vampire Diaries. So, yeah, he's the good guy. Billy Zane's the good guy, and Scott Adkins is the bad guy. Now, a lot of you guys might be like, oh, Scott's not the good guy, but you got to remember, Scott does a good bad guy, too. Of course, we all know Yuri Boyka was a great villain before he became the anti-hero. And then, you know, he was pretty much the bad guy in Universal Soldier Day of Reckoning. If you think about it, like, you know, at first you think he's somebody else, but then at the end, you know, it was made known that, you know, he's not a good guy. You know, he was, so that was kind of cool. So Day of Reckoning, and then who's I'm sorry, I got to get the actor's name that stars in the movie. Hang on. Hang on. I'll get there. Zach Waring. Yes, Zach Waring. Get excited for that. Okay, but at least Scott Adkins is in it, and he's playing the bad guy, and it looks like he's, you know, he does a good bad guy. You know, we got to remember, not only does he do great heroes because he's played them many times in the past, or anti-heroes, but he also plays a good villain. Now, watching this trailer, see if you can think of another Scott Adkins movie that kind of flips it over. So Scott did a movie way back when, and this one kind of reminded me of it, but the role is reversed. So I think it's kind of cool. I don't know if that's what they had in mind, but that's what I got out of the trailer. So here we go. We're going to check it out now. The trailer for Day of Reckoning, Billy Zane, Scott Adkins, causing all sorts of mayhem.
How long you been hunting? 7 years. How's he keep you in the way? Small town rookie cops like you keep screwing up. Don't screw up.
Billy Zane can't turn in
Kyle
bad
and Emily
performance.
wrestled
He's
for
been in bad
multiple counts
movies,
of bank
but he
robbery
still
and murder.
reacts the shit out of it.
I got 3 men back up to the farm. Kyle's on his way back there now. This is Emily Rusk.
What are you doing here, John?
Bringing criminals into justice.
His name's John.
You a hunter? You hunting?
I like it.
I need a crew. I came back for my woman.
Where's the warrant? There's no warrant. There are no marshals. Not today.
You do not bend the law to stop a man like Russ. You break it.
A badge doesn't make you a good person.
There are laws and I have a duty.
Is it worth dying for?
How's it going, Sheriff? Sure you want to do this? Come on, boys! Let him have it!
Let him have it.
It is over.
It is far from over.
All right, so there you go. That is Day of Reckoning. Woo! Does that look like a good movie? Now, if you notice, now, of course, you know, they don't show Scott. Scott throws one kick in it. It was towards the end there. If you blinked, you missed it. But, he is going to do some fighting in it. So the synopsis is: on the verge of losing his wife and his job as sheriff, put upon lawman John Dorsey, played by, again, Zach Waring. I guess he was on the Vampire Diaries. I used to watch the Vampire Diaries. I only think I saw the first couple of seasons, though. Reluctantly teams up with bullish U.S. Marshal Butch Hayden to hold outlaw Emily Rusk hostage. A battle of wills ensues as Emily turns the posse on themselves, but as her marauding husband, played by Scott Adkins, and his gang approach, Emily and John realize they will need each other to survive. All right, so let's check out a little bit of this again. So we're going to go through and then...
Dying for?
How's it going, Sheriff? Sure you want to do this?
So he looks all badass. He's a bad guy, but it's okay. We know he's going to die at the end. There's the kick. Gun. I like that scene right there. Let me go back to that. I like how he's walking away and the bullets are like just going all around him. How cool is that?
It is over.
It is far from over.
So it looks like more of a shoot 'em up than it is, martial arts, but that's fine. It's like he's still going to get his kicks and his chops in, and, I'm sure he's going to die, like I said, because he's the bad guy. So it looks pretty good. So March 28th, theatrical run. So we'll see where it comes and where it goes and if we get it anywhere near where any of us live. If you do, hey, God love you because you'll be able to see it on the big screen. If not, you'll have to wait for digital just like everybody else. But I think, once it hits the theaters, the digital isn't going to be too far behind. Cleaner, as you know, it came out last week, but it was a theatrical run, but it's playing nowhere near where I am. But I got the screener because I was able to interview Taz Schuyler and director Martin Campbell for it. And again, if you haven't seen that, there's my interview with director Martin Campbell. Those are now up on YouTube, and Taz Schuyler on YouTube. I was able to interview them for the Cleaner. Have not put out my review for Cleaner yet because, of course, I got too busy and, things happen and stuff like that. I was going to do an ACTION-FLIX podcast review for the Cleaner. I liked it. I mean, it's not a great movie by any stretch of the imagination. It's not going to be one you're going to be like, you know what, I got to watch this every week. It's not going to happen. But Daisy Ridley's great in it. She does a really good job in the action department, and she also does a great job as her character. There's a lot of sentimental stuff going on, too, between her and her brother in the movie, which I kind of liked about it and everything. Clive Owen, if you're a fan of his, you'll be disappointed, but if you're a Taz Schuyler fan, you'll be even more excited because he's pretty much the bad guy in the whole thing. So yeah, there you go. There's Day of Reckoning, and again, like I said, we have the theatrical poster for it, which is pretty cool. That's that's kind of a old school type poster that they did back in the day. And of course, the other image was Scott on his hog. There you go. So, all right, so there you go. There's my thoughts. Havoc looks exactly like we thought it would. Looks sensational, looks bloody, violent, hyper real, hyper action design, hyper everything. And it's Tom Hardy doing what Tom Hardy does. Tom Hardy can kick the shit out of anything. Warrior is one of my most favorite movies that he's done. Such a great talent. And like I said, anytime he's in a movie, you know, he acts the crap out of it. And again, sensational cast. And, you know, it looks like there's going to be a lot of great action in this one from start to finish. And of course, you know, Scott Adkins, you know, he really disappoints either. Now, is all of his movies great? No, but I've really seen a Scott Adkins movie where the credits roll and I was like, I mean, there was Incoming. If you ever saw Incoming, you know, he kind of, you thought he was a kind of like a dick, but a good guy, but he turned out to be a bad guy. And then he had some fight scenes in it, which were okay. But other than that, it was just like, ugh. It's like, why? He must have been friends with the people that were making it. But usually Scott Adkins does a decent job in his movies, and I'm such a huge fan of his. You know, of course, I've talked to him numerous times, many, many times throughout my career doing ACTION-FLIX.com. Hopefully I'm going to talk to him again because he's got a lot of stuff coming out. Diablo with Marco Zaror. He teams up with Marco Zaror again. And I did interview him for Take Cover last year. He had come out late last year. And he did mention in the interview that he would try to get me for Diablo. So hopefully we'll be able to hook up for that one. So we'll see what happens. All right. So don't forget. Oh, we got another comment. Hang on a second. Cleaner will be on video in about 20 days. And according to its Voodoo Fandango at home. Yes. Okay. That's what I thought. Okay. But, you know, like I said, it's kind of unfortunate that they didn't give it a bigger release because, yes, it's got a Die Hard trope. But it's I thought it was a little bit more than that. Actually, you know, Daisy Ridley's character, she's stuck outside for a lot of it, which kind of made it interesting. And, you know, she finally does get inside. And, of course, that's when the action hits. But, you know, a lot of people are kind of hate that fact, you know, where she's kind of like, but I thought it made it more interesting. I thought it made it more tense, more taut, you know, in terms of, you know, how things were moving, you know, but of course people are going to want to see bullets fly right away. And that's just not the case with this one, but I still liked it. I still enjoyed it. All right, so drop me a line, everybody. Make sure that you tell me, like, what did you like about the trailers? What did you not like about the trailers? Do you like Scott as a bad guy? Do you not like Scott as a bad guy? Do you just like, hey, it's Scott, who cares? And he does everything, you know, great. If he's a bad guy, an anti-hero, a hero, you know, we'll take anything we can get. Just a couple things here. Again, if you when I have you guys here and I'm live, I haven't done a live. I think my last live podcast was when I did the trailer reaction for Superman. Boy, I can't wait till that movie comes out because people already hate that movie, and it hasn't even come out yet. Holy cow. I got so many opinions on this one you don't even want to know right now. But so I've been going over what I'm doing with the podcast now. So I have a weekly intel that I did yesterday. We talked about the new He-Man image. Boy, was that this was recorded though. It wasn't live. I'm doing a lot more recordings right now because, you know, I'm recording these when I can, and then the live ones will come when they come. I've been doing a lot of live ones in the past, but, you know, now they're recorded. But it's up on YouTube now and on the page ACTION-FLIX.com. So check it out. I talk about all kinds of stuff. I talk about He-Man. I talk about Jason Statham's new projects coming out. All kinds of good stuff. So check that one out at the same time. And he's Real Popcorn King. My theater got Volume 1, but not Cleaner. Go figure. Yeah, right? It's like, you know, how's that one come out, but the other one doesn't? If anything, Cleaner would probably have the wider theatrical release. I mean, it's Martin Campbell, Daisy Ridley. You know, she's a known property. I don't know. What my theater gets is always a surprise anymore. Yep. That's the great toilet paper shortage. That's right. Hey, I like that. Can I use that? That's better than saying pandemic. So I like it. I love it. That's kudos to you. Yeah. So then it's exactly like Valiant 1. I think it had the girl from the Netflix series of movies, the romance ones my daughters watched. She's in it. I don't even remember her name. Sorry to the actress. And the guy that's in it still, yeah. But then you got Daisy Ridley, Taz Skylar, who's crushing it on Netflix's One Piece, and Clive Owen. And then my theater got Valiant 1 too, but not Cleaner. But I mean, I got the screener regardless, so I was able to watch it at home on my big screen TV. I'm like, sorry everybody, it's like, but I was able to watch it and interview Martin and Taz, which was pretty flippin' cool. Let me tell you, holy cow! Oh, and then let me get, I forgot about this one. Simon West. Yes, I talked to the great director Simon West for his film Old Guy, starring the great Christoph Waltz, Academy Award winner Christoph Waltz, as a aging hitman who has to train a new newbie to take over his job. Well, it's not like it's not bombastic like Simon West's other movies like Con Air and Expendables 2 and stuff like that. It is a pretty decent action thriller. It's got some dark humor in it. It's not over the top funny, so don't expect that. There is some quirkiness going on between him and the younger guy. Lucy Liu's in it. She's great. And I was able to talk to Simon West. And of course, you know, I just didn't talk about Old Guy. I was like, Simon, talk to me about Expendables 2. Talk to me about The Mechanic with Jason Statham. Talk to me about Con Air. I still was able to get those in the 10 minutes that I had with him. And he gave me a great anecdote on Jason Statham. So if you've not seen the interview yet, make sure you check it out on my website, ACTION-FLIX.com, and YouTube channel. Because it just basically says, you know, Jason Statham is a badass in real life as well. Yes, he does these movies. Yes, he you know, he's not indestructible like he is in the movies in real life. But it's just, this story just cements the fact that Jason Statham's just the coolest MFer in the world. So if you haven't seen the interview, make sure you check it out. All right, last things I'm going to talk about, just kind of since I got somebody actually watching right now. So again, you know, I got the weekly intel that I'm going to try to do weekly intel at least once a week towards the end of the week. And of course, which, you know, I did it at the beginning of the week, but that was supposed to be for last week. So maybe I'll do one at the end of this week for what happens further into this week, because we've already had some other news and stuff go on. So that's my ACTION-FLIX podcast show, where I talk about action news in cinema and television. Just the news. You know, it's kind of like, hey, here's what's going on. Here's the intel for you. And then, of course, Trailer Tactical, which is what I'm doing right now, where I check out the latest trailers. And boy, we had two good ones today. We checked out Havoc, starring Tom Hardy, and Day of Reckoning, starring the great Scott Adkins and Billy Zane. So that's where I check out those. Then I got Center of the Ring. I have an idea for my next Center of the Ring. I've only done one Center of the Ring so far, and that was Roadhouse New against Roadhouse Old. And you can pretty much guess which one won, but that was the only one I've done since. But I do have some ideas for more Center of the Rings. That's where two movies enter, one movie leaves. So which one is the better of the movie? Not that I hate or dislike either of them. I love both movies, or really like both movies, but it's like, which one would if I had a gun to my hand, I'd be like, pick one. That's what would happen. Then, of course, I have an anatomy of action design. That's where I have somebody come on and we talk about either their action sequences or just action sequences in general. So, again, I had the great Brent Foster come on for Life After Fighting when his movie came out last year. He was so great. He did not one, but two interviews with me. He did an interview for the movie. Then he came on and did an anatomy of action design, where we broke down every single fight in the movie, including his finale, which was 45 minutes of awesomeness. And we broke everything down. He told me some great behind the scenes stuff, some great stuff, and, you know, filming the fights and everything. So if you haven't checked that out, what is wrong with you? Go now and watch that on my YouTube channel. And then, of course, I have Comic Zone, where I'm talking about the latest comics and stuff like that. Today was New Comic Book Day, and wouldn't you know it, I still did not make it to the comic book store today. I worked, and of course, I wanted to do this where I checked out the trailers. So one of these days, I'm going to actually do New Comic Book Day, where I talk about the comic books that I got. They're waiting for me. I just haven't picked them up yet. I will do one this week where I'll talking about the ones I previously picked up, and just have fun talking comics, you know, because, again, I was into comic books growing up. I was a huge comic book nerd growing up. And then when I got older, you know, things happen, life happens, and I just got out of reading them. Plus, if they were harder to get, I didn't have a comic. When I was growing up, I had a comic book store directly down the street from me. So that, you know, I can still remember going in and seeing G.I. Joe issue 1 on the rack and being like, ooh, what is this? I still remember it like it was yesterday. But then I just got out of reading them, and then I moved down here to Florida and Panama City, and then Panama City Beach, and I have not one but two comic book stores by me. So I've gotten back into comic books. So Comic Zone is everything comic books, just talking comics. I might just be me gushing over comics or what I didn't like about certain comics, and I'll have guests, you know, come on and talk about it too. And then one of my personal favorites that I'm going to be doing on the ACTION-FLIX podcast is Yo Joe Zone. That's right. That's where I talk about everything G.I. Joe and, you know, like collectibles. I got this one, my Storm Shadow. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. And as you can see behind me, I have all the great stuff. Which way? Which way am I going? There we go. There we go. You can't really see them, but it's Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow and all the stuff that I've collected so far. So Yo Joe Zone is just my love fest for everything G.I. Joe. I've loved G.I. Joe since I was growing up. I loved them when they were the smaller group. They were the size of the Barbie dolls. You know, I don't want to say Barbie dolls. They're still action figures even when they were that size. But I was a fan of them way back when. And then, of course, Marvel turned them into the smaller scale action figures. And then the rest is history. So I'm just going to be talking about everything G.I. Joe, from the comics to the animated to the movies, and I know you all have opinions on the movies, as I do too. It just, G.I. Joe's becoming hot again, so hopefully, you know, because for some reason everybody's always Transformers this, Transformers that. It's like, I like Transformers, but I love G.I. Joe. It's like, I don't understand, you know, it's got that epic scope to it, you know, all the characters, all the vehicles, you know, all the goodness that goes to it. So Yo Joe Zone is just my way of just talking G.I. Joe, either with you guys or, you know, I'll have people come on and talk about G.I. Joe too. And of course, movie and TV reviews, which I think I'm going to be calling Movie Breakdown. I think that's what I'm going to call it. And if you haven't seen yet, I did my movie breakdown of Captain America Brave New World. I got to see it opening night with my 9-year-old daughter. She loved it. I liked it a lot. So I didn't love it, but I liked it a lot. But it is definitely a better way to end Phase 5. And we all know Thunderbolts is going to end Phase 5. Of course, Fantastic Four starts Phase 6. Phase 5 was a disaster. I don't know what other way to look at it. It was just like, holy cow, what is going on here? They just lost their way. But hopefully... I thought Captain America Brave New World was a step in the right direction. While it tries to retread Winter Soldier in some ways, you know, but I enjoyed the fight scenes. I had people coming at me complaining about the fight scenes. I'm like, I liked them. I mean, they were cool. You know, I don't know what you people want, you know. So, but if you want to hear my full thoughts on that, that's on Movie Breakdown, and you can check that one. Then, of course, I have the exclusive interviews. I've already mentioned the ones I've done so far. I am going to be putting out one with German actress Louise. She did the movie Uppercut with Ving Rhames that comes out this Friday. I was able to talk to her about the movie. She's also a producer on it. Kind of like a Rocky picture. Really liked it. Really good movie. I hope it gets an audience, and I hope people are able to watch it. And, you know, because it's solid. It's a solid, you know, if you like that kind of thing. All right. And then we got more comments here. We got Real Popcorn Transformers is like Batman. They get more play than Superman. Yeah. I like Transformers. I do. I do. I'm a Transformers fan. I grew up with all of it. I grew up with Transformers, He-Man. You know, I grew up with Thundercats. I mean, I grew up with all of it. But for some reason, I was always into the military. And I actually had some military in my family at a time. So I just kind of gravitated towards G.I. Joe. And then the vehicle, I was fortunate enough. My parents were great to me. Every Christmas, I got all the greatest stuff from G.I. Joe. And I just love it. And it is what it is. I mean, I'm a huge G.I. Joe nerd. And I, like right now here, I could just pull this out and from behind me. There's Stalker. I just got him. I love that. Of course, none of these are taken out yet, but I will. And then, of course, I got Beachhead. We all love Beachhead. He's such a hothead. I saw Scarlet the other day, but I did not pick her up. I'm going to pick her up some other time. And, of course, you all know I got the Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow figures and stuff like that. Oh, and we were talking about Deathstroke earlier. I picked this up. That's pretty cool. Still in the box. And if you guys have any Cobra Kai... if you guys are fans of Cobra Kai, which I'm sure you are, because if you watch me or listen to me, I got these. These are like Johnny and Daniel as Power Rangers. That's kind of cool. You can either have them with their faces or with their masks on. So I was like, ooh. And they're on clearance. So I was like, I snatched them up. And now I have a figure of Johnny and a figure of Daniel to go along with my goodness. So isn't that exciting, everybody? All right. Ooh, thanks for the comments. Oh, the Real Popcorn says, nice. Yes, thank you. It's, hey, when I have the money, it's like, so, but again, thank you guys so much. Oh, a couple other things I just want to mention real quick. Again, this August, 10-year anniversary for ACTION-FLIX.com. 10 years in August is when I started this endeavor. It's basically as old as my daughter is. She was born in May of 2015. I created the website in August of 2015. So this August marks the 10th year of being in ACTION-FLIX.com. So again, I'm going to do a lot. I have to thank, but of course I'm going to do some fun things to go along with my anniversary because 10 years is a big deal. And I think I've done pretty good. You know, I people tell me I'm a source for action. You know, it's like, thank you. I mean, it's just me in 45 plus years of watching action movies and watching them over and over again and stuff like that. So it's like, so that was pretty cool. And thank you for the applause. Yeah. I mean, hey, I'm proud. I'm excited about it. So yeah, so we got that. And of course I passed 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm currently sitting at 1,050 something. I have not looked it up. But like I said, I wasn't doing anything for months, but yet it was still, and for some reason my Tony Jaa trailer tactical, and I cut out the trailer because I got tagged because I made the picture too big. So it's like, ugh. So, but that, I was like, that's fine. I'll just take it out. Then I had people, like, where's the trailer at? I'm like, well, if you heard me, because I said, I was like, I had to take it out. But for some reason I got 40,000 hits on it, and they're just like, and I was climbing. I was slowly climbing. So there you go. Who knows? All right. So that ends this episode of Trailer Tactical. So once again, let's just do a little bit of a recap. So we got Tom Hardy looking all badass in his Netflix movie Havoc. So excited. There's the key art for it again. And of course, Scott Adkins is taking on Billy Zane and some guy from the Vampire Diaries and Day of Reckoning. And there he is once again on his hog. He's a badass. And he's, such a great guy. So supportive of me. I've talked to him for 8 or 9 times. I've lost count, either on the my audio, written or audio or now video. So yeah, he's been great. And I look forward to everything that he does. And he's got a lot of stuff coming out. And actually, if you're still watching, I'm going to be doing a special weekly Intel Scott Adkins edition. As you know, on the website, I call it Essential Adkins. That's where I group everything together that Scott Adkins, from news to interviews to trailers to reviews, everything Scott Adkins. So if you're a big Scott Adkins fan like I am, that's your one-stop shop to find out about everything Scott Adkins. So I'm going to do one for that where I'm going to just go over all the news because he's had a lot of news come out lately. I'm still planning on doing that. And that's about it. So again, like next Wednesday, I think the Action Elite Live is going to be back. We're going to be talking about what I can't remember because we've talked about a lot of things. Every time I turn around, they're naming more movies. And I'm like the one time we did, the last one we did that I was able to do, I had to be like, which one are we doing again? I think it was Con Air. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. Then I was like, not that I needed to watch it again, but of course I wanted to watch it again because I've seen it 1,000 times. And who knew I would talk to Simon West later on? But it's like, all right. I was like, okay, now this is the movie that we're doing. Okay. So be on the lookout for that. Like I said, I think we should be back next Wednesday as Owen comes back from his trip and isn't jet lagged. So Owen, if you're watching, hope you're having a great time with your family. Love the pictures and everything that's just sent on social media. It's great to see that you can spend time with your mom and dad and your brothers and all that good stuff. All right. So until then, everybody, that's all I have. So get excited. This is a great year. I have one more thing to say. Okay, so this stuff just comes to me. So I still have to do my best of 2024. People keep asking me, John, what happened to your best of 2024? It got lost. Work and everything. I got promoted at work recently, and it's been hectic and everything. So I know it's going to be March, but hey, it's not too late. I'm still going to go over my best of 2024, and I'm going to do my top 10, and of course my ultimate flick from 2024 that I thought was the best action movie. And then I'm going to do one for most anticipated, and of course Havoc's going to be in there. I'll make sure I do my most anticipated before these movies come out because they're all starting to hit and everything. So I'm a little behind, but you know what? That's the way I've always done it, so I wouldn't have it any other way. But again, thank you for your support. Drop me a line. Don't forget, hang on a second, let me get it up here, to like and subscribe. That's right. If you like and subscribe my page, then you get updates on when my videos come out and when my podcast comes out and all that good stuff. I want to thank Severio and Real Popcorn Geek for showing up tonight and talking to me and because when people are watching, it just makes it even better. It's like, oh, you're watching me. You like me. You really like me. All right, so that's all I got. I'm going to stop blabbing now. I always say I'm going to shut up, and then I have one more thing to say. But I mean it now. That is it. Havoc, April 25th, and Day of Reckoning, March 28th. If it comes to a theater near you or near any of us, who knows? But it says exclusive to theaters, so it's going to hit theaters first. And I'm assuming it's going to be video on demand or in digital, like soon after. But then, of course, Havoc is going to be on Netflix, so you guys can get in your favorite recliner, watch it on your big screen TV, make some popcorn, as I know I'm going to do, and watch the crap out of that one. I'll probably watch it all weekend long. and just gush over it and be like, this is the greatest movie ever. Tom Hardy's a badass. All right. So I'm going to stop talking now. Again, thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for your support. And again, we are your ultimate destination for everything action in cinema and television and all around. And again, be nice until it's time to not be nice. Treat others as you would want to be treated. Just be kind to one another. Like I said, a lot of crap in the world right now. If you live in America, holy cow, what a cluster F is going on right now. Every time you turn around, it's just, you hear things, you're just like, what? So let's just talk action and just be nice and have fun and just watch these movies and, critique them and have fun with them. No toxicity. Just, if you have your opinions, that's great, but be respectful of everybody else and everything. And just let's have fun talking action because we all love it. It's not going anywhere. We've grown up on it. We can't get enough of it. We wake up every day wanting to know what the next action movie is going to be, what's going to be the next great action movie and everything. So let's just have fun. And there you go. Until next time, I am severely done right now. I promise you. Have a great night. And make sure you watch Day of Reckoning when it hits. And make sure you watch Havoc when it hits because those look like a lot of fun and very, very violent. All right, guys. Have a good night.